All right, so let's look at your homework for tonight. I'm actually going to go through every single problem. And for those of you that don't see this video tomorrow, I'm just going to play it as going over your homework instead of actually working them out one by one together as a class. All right, so I'm going to start. Numbers 1 through 3 simply ask for you to find the slope. Okay, so remember, slope formula is just the y values subtracted from each other and x minus x as well. Simplify 9/16 gives me 9 plus 6, sorry, gives me 15, and negative 6 plus 3 gives me negative 3, which makes our slope negative 5 over 1, because we're going to graph soon. Make sure you have that 1. All right, same thing over here on number 2. 4 minus 4, 12 minus negative 1. 4 minus 4 is 0. 12 plus 1 is 13. If the 0 is on top, that gives us a 0 slope. And then number 3, negative 5 minus 7 over 2 minus 2 gives me negative 12 over 0. Remember, if the 0 is on the bottom, underline undefined. Or, like all of y'all said, you can't stand on a beach ball, so it is no slope. So those are your 3 slope problems. All right, now we're going into our writing equation problems. Okay, so they want us to write an equation in standard form. Now remember, using your form friend, we're going to write everything in slope-intercept form first and then convert it to standard form of a line that has a slope of 7 and a y-intercept of 9. So I'm going to start with our slope of 7 and a y-intercept of 9. Now this is in slope-intercept form. We want to convert that to standard form, and remember, standard form has those 3 criteria. The first one is that x and y are on the same side, so I'm going to move our x over. Okay, the second criteria is that x has to be positive, so at this point we are going to change our signs. Okay, so that's going to make that a positive 7x, a negative y, and a negative 9. And our third criteria is that you cannot have any fractions in standard form, and we don't, so we're done. Number 5, again, standard form, gave us a slope of negative 2/5 and a y-intercept of 3. So we're going to start with negative 2/5 x plus 3. All right, first step is going to be to move the x to the same side as the y, so that's going to make that a positive 2/5 x plus y equals 3. Second criteria is that x has to be positive. Our x happens to already be positive. So we'll move to our third criteria, which is cannot have a fraction. Remember, we get rid of our fraction by multiplying by the denominator, and that has to go to everything. These cancel, leaves me with 2x plus 5y equals 15. All right, now number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all given slope and a point. Okay, so remember, we start that with our slope and a point process where we have to cross multiply. So when I cross multiply, it's going to be 1 times y plus 7 and 5 times x plus 1. So we distribute. All right, and again, we want x and y together on the left, so I'm going to move my 5x over. I'm going to move my 7 over. And the last thing that we have to deal with here is that we have that negative on x, so we're going to change the sign of everything. All right, number 7 gave us a negative 2/5, and our point was 4, -2. All right, so let's cross multiply. And distribute. All right, so let's start rearranging. Let's get our x and our y together. So that's going to make a positive 2x and a positive 5y. Move that 10, and 8 minus 10 is -2. Our x is positive, no fractions, so we're done. Okay, number 8 starts with -1/3, y minus -4, x minus 3. Cross multiply. Distribute. Remember, you can put that 1 in front of x if you want to, but it's understood to be there. You do not have to write it. All right, then let's rearrange. Let's move x over. He's going to become positive. Y did not move, so it stayed positive. Let's move positive 12 over. It's going to become negative, and 3 minus 12 is -9. Number 9, remember slope is -4, so that means -4 over 1. Y minus -19, x minus 2. Always change your double negatives. Okay, so that's 1 times y plus 19 equals -4 times x minus 2. And everything from here should be familiar by now. Positive x, no fractions, we're good. And the last one on your homework. A slope of 3/4 through the point -4, -1. Always change your double negatives. So 4 times y plus 1 and 3 times x plus 4. All right, start to rearrange. We're going to pull this 3x over, and that one is going to become negative. Move your 4 over, and it also becomes negative, and 12 minus 4 is 8. Flag that we see here is that we have a negative on our x, so we're going to change the sign of everything in the problem. So hopefully that'll help you some with your homework. You do have a test this Friday on all of this type of equation stuff from your form friend.